In the beautiful Garden of Eden, where Adam and Eve lived in harmony with God, everything was perfect. They had everything they could ever want and were given one simple command by God, not to eat the fruit from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, for if they did, they would surely die. But the serpent, the craftiest of all creatures, approached Eve one day and asked, "Did God really say, 'You must not eat from any tree in the garden'?" Eve responded, saying they could eat from all the trees except the one in the center of the garden, for God had warned them not to eat it or even touch it. The serpent, however, contradicted God's words, saying, "You will not certainly die. For God knows that when you eat from it, your eyes will be opened, and you will be like God, knowing good and evil." Eve saw that the fruit was good for food, pleasing to the eye, and desirable for gaining wisdom. She took some and ate it. Then, she gave some to Adam, who was with her, and he ate it too. Immediately, their eyes were opened, and they realized they were naked. They felt ashamed and sewed fig leaves together to cover themselves. Later, they heard the sound of God walking in the garden, and they hid from him among the trees. But God called to Adam, asking, "Where are you?" Adam replied, "I heard you in the garden, and I was afraid because I was naked, so I hid." God asked, "Who told you that you were naked? Have you eaten from the tree that I commanded you not to eat from?" Adam responded, "The woman you put here with me, she gave me some fruit from the tree, and I ate it." Then God asked Eve, and she said, "The serpent deceived me, and I ate." God then pronounced judgment. He cursed the serpent to crawl on its belly and eat dust all the days of its life. To Eve, he said that she would experience pain in childbearing and a desire for her husband, who would rule over her. To Adam, God said that the ground would be cursed because of his disobedience, and he would toil and labor for his food until his death. God told them that they would return to the dust from which they were made. In his mercy, God made garments of skin for Adam and Eve to clothe them, but then he banished them from the Garden of Eden to prevent them from eating from the tree of life and living forever in their fallen state. He placed cherubim and a flaming sword to guard the entrance to the garden. Thus, the fall of man began with disobedience to God's command, resulting in the loss of innocence, the entrance of sin and death into the world, and mankind's separation from God. However, within the judgment, there was also the first hint of hope, as God promised that one day, the serpent's head would be crushed, foreshadowing the ultimate victory over sin and death through Jesus Christ.